you live in the US today, you'll agree with me that so many good African marriages in America are now breaking. And this is not because there is no love, but I strongly think it's because there is too much pressure. There is too much silence. And there is too little honest adjustments that we make when we migrate over to the United States. Just think about it. How many couples are carrying bills, children, immigration pressure, work stress, family demands, especially back home, and yet they still pretend around, that everything is fine. They don't even have an opportunity to tell people back home their exact situations here in the United States.
Dr. G. Real stories, real people, unpacking the struggles, reclaiming the narratives with Dr. G.
Today we're talking about a subject that many people whisper, but too few dare to even address it directly. We're talking about marital strain after migration to the United States. So this episode is for African immigrant couples. This episode is for parents, for faith leaders, community organizers, and marriage counselors, for our adult children, because they are also trying to understand the pressure that immigrant families carry when they move over to the United States. Let me be plain. Migration can improve opportunity, no doubt. But migration can also test a marriage in ways that many couples did not prepare for. The country changes. The work changes. The roles change. The power dynamics change. The finances change. The laws change. And guess what? The children also change. And all this is happening very quickly as you're trying to adapt when you just move into the United States. And before you know it, even the home begins to change too. So this conversation is especially important because African immigrants are not a tiny group of people in the United States. About 2.5 million sub-Saharan African immigrants live in the United States as of 2024. Now let us start with what the evidence actually says. Direct research, which is focused specifically on African immigrant marriages in the United States, is still very limited, and we need more of such research. But a strong recent qualitative study from 2025, which looked at Nigerian immigrants in North America, was able to identify major diverse marital dissatisfaction, including cultural conflict, financial stress, job insecurity, extended family obligations, parenting conflicts, immigration-related stress, and guess what? Even suffering in silence. And yes, that matters because many couples assume the problem is only attitude, either from the man or attitude from the woman. But no. Sometimes the problem is structural. And I'll tell you why. That same study shows that some couples are hit by serious role shocks. In many families, what counted as normal in their home country becomes contested in America. For instance, who cooks? Who helps children with school? Who makes the decisions? And if these questions are not answered clearly, tension begins to build. And let us not ignore the pressure outside the home. There is also food insecurity. There is medical cost problems. Now, that kind of pressure doesn't stay outside the family. It doesn't stay at the front door. That kind of pressure enters into your marriage. And so, what is really going wrong? That's the big question. What is really going wrong? First of all, I'll be clear. Migration exposes hidden expectations. A man may still believe, oh, if I bring the money, I've done my part. Or a woman may be saying, that's not enough here in the US. I also work and I bring money. I need partnership. I need help with the children. emotional presence and shared decision making. Both of these may be sincere. Both the man and the woman may be sincere. Both of them are tired. Both still love each other. But if these expectations are never renegotiated, then I tell you that pain will begin to speak louder than the love that they share. The second thing is about money. Money becomes a battlefield when we move over here. In America, expenses are relentless. You have rent, you have insurance, you have childcare, you have transportation, you have school needs, you have healthcare cost. They all add up. And not to talk of the remittance back home. The money that we send back home and the pressure that we put on ourselves to appear successful, especially on social media. Especially the notion we want people to have back home. And if couples do not have a shared understanding, then money can turn into secrecy. It can turn into suspicion. And before you know it, there'll be a lot of accusation going on. The third thing is the support network gets smaller. And you will agree with me that back home, so many couples have people around them. You have elders, you have siblings, you have aunties, you have uncles, you have neighbors. You have a trusted community that can speak up, a trusted voice in the community to help you around. In America, many couples are on their own, and that's for sure. And what that means is that problems that the community would rather absorb back home now falls fully on your exhausted shoulder. The fourth thing is that children can deepen the strain if parents are not aligned. The thing with children is that they adapt very quickly and they learn language faster. They learn culture faster. And so you'll find children often challenging old authorities, and they do that very fast. A national study on migration found that when children acculturate more quickly, then their parent-child relationship begins to show more dissonance, begins to slow down, the gap begins to widen, and you begin to see less family harmony. This is not only an African pattern, but it is one that many African families will recognize. Everything begins to change. They stop calling themselves their surnames. The fifth thing is too many couples suffer in silence, and that kills. A 2025 review of Black African immigrants in the United States found recurring barriers seeking mental health support. And this included stigma, it included silence, it included structural barriers, and of course, cultural and religious interpretations. And these sometimes delay practical help. Yes, faith matters. Prayer matters. But prayer without truth-telling, prayer without planning and action is not marriage strategy. You can't just depend on prayer. You can't just depend on faith. You have to take action. You have to plan. So what can families do now? The number one thing I'll entreat families to do is to keep communication constant. Always communicate with your partner. Don't let things pass by. Don't communicate once a year when things explode. Every week, make sure you sit down for 30 minutes. 30 minutes only. Discuss money. Discuss your schedules. Discuss children. Discuss your relatives. And just discuss how each one is doing emotionally. If you cannot talk calmly for 30 minutes, that is your sign that the marriage needs immediate attention. So I'll tell you, you do not have to wait until things get out of hands. You see something, say something. Start seeking the help that you need from credible elders. And I repeat, credible elders. You don't just carry your problems and go around telling everybody. Some people will amplify that problem because not everyone can help with a situation like marriage. When you're facing challenges in your matrimonial home, in your family, it's not anybody who can help. Seek help from qualified marriage counselors. Seek help from trusted spiritual leaders. Seek help from mature people with wisdom and people who can give you direction. The second thing I'll entreat you to do is to rewrite the roles. Rewrite the roles that reflect your American reality. Do not just assume, agree. You have to agree. Who handles school communications? Who does pickup? Who cooks on work nights? Who tracks bills? Who does house chores? And house chores should be a shared responsibility. Roles should be based on capacity. They should be based on work schedule and their availability. It should not be based on ego or some kind of conventional hypothesis. The third thing is to create a remittance rule in your family. Helping family back home is honorable. But if you are going to destroy your own household in order to look responsible, that is not wisdom. And so you must agree on what can be sent, when it can be sent, and what must never be touched. Things like rent money, food money, childcare money, bills, money that is set aside to pay bills, and of course, your emergency savings if you have one, which you should. Those are rules that you must set. And the fourth thing that you have to do, you must align your parenting. Let one person not be saying this, the other person is saying that. If mother says one thing and the father keeps saying the other thing, the children will learn confusion. They will not learn order. Discuss disagreement privately. We must learn to discuss our disagreements privately. Present discipline publicly and do so with unity. Do so with dignity and respect. You must keep your values. I assure you, you must keep your values. But make sure that your methods are lawful and make sure that they are wise in the American context. The fifth thing I'll entreat you to do is to build support before crisis. You have to build support before crisis erupt. Find one mature couple. Find one trusted elder. Find one faith leader. Somebody who is discreet. Find one professional option. A counselor, a therapist, or you can even find family support resources. Ask questions to those who have been here. You will definitely get answers. Do not wait until someone is sleeping in another room. Do not wait until someone is sleeping in the couch. Do not wait until someone is planning to leave or someone is consulting a lawyer. Do not ignore early signs of disintegration. Do not sweep things underneath the carpet. If you see something, you must say something. If you feel like something is wrong, speak up. Speak with your partner or speak with a trusted person, and you have to do so early. Again, speak with somebody who you trust, a responsible individual. And the sixth thing I'll entreat you to do is to stop glorifying silence. Silence is not always strength. And sometimes silence is untreated pain. An untreated pain that is wearing traditional clothes. And so if there is constant stonewalling, if there's constant emotional withdrawal, secret spending, if there is constant unexpected absences, verbal intimidation, or fear in the home, you must act early. I tell you, you must act early. This is a serious issue. Let your partner know where you are. Keep trust alive through clarity, through consistency. Now, let me speak very plainly and very honestly with you. And I want to speak to husbands right now. Leadership is not domination. It's not power. Leadership in the home means responsibility. It means transparency. Leadership means service, presence, and self-control. It doesn't mean the hunger for power. And to you wives, your pain should not be buried until it becomes bitterness. You have to speak up early. Speak very clearly. And speak with discipline and respect. Do not wait until respect turns into some kind of quiet resentment. And if you work or you rise academically, do not let achievement replace respect. Do not let achievement replace love. Do not let achievements replace family values. Above all, do not stay silent if there is any form of abuse Seek help from trusted and qualified resources. When we come here, the dynamics shift. You'll notice very quickly that you can achieve anything. And to you parents, do not let immigration stress make your home emotionally unsafe for your children. A child should not become your translator. A child should not become your therapist. A child should not become the judge between you and your spouse. Do not let televisions, phones, and tablets take over parenting. You must have open conversations with these children. You must have open conversations with these children. You must learn to explain the why to them. You must have safety conversations with your children. You must ask them how they are coping in school. It's not just all about academics. It's not just all about homework. Have you done your homework? Okay, you can sleep. No. If you begin to notice changes in their lives, in their behaviors, have meaningful conversations early. Have those conversations with these children early. And let me say to you young people, you need to really understand this. Your parents are also adapting. Your parents may look strong, but let me tell you, they are carrying a world that you do not fully see or understand right now. And that does not excuse harm, but I tell you, it should encourage compassion. It should encourage honest conversations with your parents. Speak with your mother. Speak with your father about your school life. Speak with them about your friends. Speak with them about the challenges that you're going through. Speak with them about your needs. Do not forget to show understanding. Do not forget to show respect. And I'll tell you one thing, life is not rushing. So do not be in a hurry. Avoid unhealthy competition, especially with your peers. Live within your limits. Live within what you have. To the wider African immigrant community, we must stop pretending that every troubled marriage is a private shame. We must stop that labeling. Some matters are private, yes, but silence is not always protection. Sometimes silence becomes that bridge to collapse. And at the same time, speaking with the wrong person can damage your marriage faster. So you've got to be careful. You must speak with trusted people, with people who have you at the center. People who will help you constructively. We need healthier community habits, not the shaming habits. We need less gossip in our community. We need more wisdom. We need less image management. We need more practical support. We need less denial. And we need more early interventions. If a brother or a sister comes to you with a challenge, do not make it the topic of your next discussion. Do not make it a topic in a group chat. And if you cannot offer meaningful help or meaningful support at the time, help them to point to a different direction. Point them to somebody who can help them. We must not be too quick to judge, too quick to conclude, too quick to blame. Often we blame the man. Oh, they come here and they don't want to change from their African ways. Or we blame the woman and conclude, oh, because they are nurses now. Let us seek meaningful, constructive, and sustainable solutions to our problems. So when someone reaches out to you for help, try to understand the situation. And if you cannot handle it, point them to a direction where they can find help. If we want strong families, we must create spaces where couples can learn skills, where couples can seek counsel and begin to talk honestly about things like money, about parenting, about role changes, and even about emotional health before the damage becomes severe. And one example where you can discuss this is the Ubuntu Family and Community Circles, which is hosted by AfriSota. You'll see the flyers coming around. Join. Sometimes it's online, sometimes it's in person. Just join. Migration may change your address, but it must not destroy your family. Migration may change your habit, but don't let it destroy your home, because a strong family in America will not survive on tradition alone, and it will not survive on adaptation alone. A strong family in America will only survive on truth, will only survive on discipline, humility, shared work, and timely help. That is what will keep you strong. And so here are my takeaways in this conversation. Migration can change marriage roles faster than many couples expect. Financial stress and extended family obligations can create conflict if they are not discussed openly. Parenting disagreements often reflect deeper marital strain. You start disagreeing on parenting issues, they can strain your marriage. Silence, shame, and delayed help seeking can only make the problem worse, doesn't help anything. And small disciplined habits can actually protect a family before that damage becomes severe. And I'll tell you, if you're listening to this, do not wait for that marriage to break before you decide to start building it. Do not wait. So let me hear what your experience is. Let me hear how you're handling it. Share your experience with people. This episode only offers educational guidance. And of course, it offers practical support ideas. And I say ideas, underline that. This is not a legal advice. This is not a medical advice. This is not a substitute for a licensed marriage counseling or an emergency help. And until next time, this is Dr. Ewu. And this has been All Things Immigrant and Society podcast. Guard your home. Tell the truth. And do the work that keeps the family standing.
Dr. G. Real stories, real people. Unpacking the struggles, reclaiming the narratives with Dr.